I'm back. I'm Black. He's Red. This is Black and Red's official Mission Impossible movie review. Rogue Nation. Seen it. What you got?
Yeah, I watched it.
Okay.
Mission Impossible 5. Obviously, I mean, I don't know how much of a synopsis I'm going to give here, but we'll probably give it a score right away. I'll give it a 7.2 out of 10. It's a solid action movie. Plot's nothing really to write home about, but I'll give it to Tom Cruise. I mean, Tom Cruise, he's got legs.
He likes to run in these movies, man.
He's got legs, man. He's what, like 55, 60? He's pretty old now, and he's still a stud. I mean, he still makes money. I enjoy watching his movies. He's still a good, solid action star. I mean, he's really had a good longevity to his career. I mean, it's like I said, this plot doesn't do him any favors here, but the action's good, and he carries the movie like you'd expect Ethan Hunt to perform. Mission Impossible. Alec Baldwin's a good addition. I liked Alec Baldwin's role in this movie. He's kind of the head of the CIA, so I enjoyed his role. Simon Pegg's always funny. Ving Rhames doesn't have a lot to do, but he's fine. The kind of main woman, I think her name is Rebecca Ferguson. I've never seen her before. You never seen anything?
I think maybe Eagle Eye.
No, Eagle Eye is Michelle Monaghan.
Whatever.
That's just LaBeouf. No Shia LaBeouf in this movie.
I know I've seen her somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah, she looked familiar, but I don't know how we're feeling there.
But great.
Yeah, she was in good shape. She's kind of the female lead in it. Kind of brief synopsis. Movie starts kind of as usual. Kind of he's the impossible mission force is now they're kind of like disbanded, and
it's always the same.
And so yeah, so it's pretty much usual. Business as usual. He's caught in some espionage, and he's trying to stop a big crime syndicate from doing destruction and mayhem. It's pretty much all the same plots as the James Bond movies. I mean, pretty much all of the action shooter movies have been following for 50 years at this point.
Yep.
Sean Connery
still making money.
But I mean, but it's like I said, the plot. That's what prevents us. Why I give it a 7.2. I wouldn't give it a higher score because the plot holds it back in terms of the villain's nothing to write home about, and the plot itself isn't great. But the action, the flow, the pacing, it's all good. I mean, there's some comedy. I mean, Simon Pegg's in the movie, so you know there's gonna be funny parts, and there's just quality action because that's how Tom Cruise performed. I mean, he's a good action star. I mean, he's really maybe the biggest movie star still around.
Yeah.
I mean, Will Smith's really fallen off.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise is still. I mean, Jack Reacher. What other one did you have last year?
Ghost Protocol. Was it last
before
year?
That was 2 years ago, I think. But yeah, he's been making movies lately.
Top Gun 2.
Yeah, he's gonna make Top Gun 2. I mean, he's
so he says.
Still making money. But yeah, I don't know if I have any other non-spoiler things to say about it. Like I said, I mean, plot holds it back, but solid action movie. I would definitely recommend going to see it. I mean, you want to see it on the big screen. I mean, he's a big time movie star. You want to see him on the big screen. All 5'8" of them. Big man. What did you think about it?
I also enjoyed the movie. It was decent. It was a good action, good suspense.
Suspense thriller. It's probably what it's called.
Yeah. I give it a 7. Straight 7. The plot line is probably the main reason. Is like if you've seen Ghost Protocol, you've seen Mission Impossible 1, 2, 3. You've seen.
Well, the first one's a lot different.
Yeah,
because the whole team gets killed at the beginning.
Well, if you've seen Ghost Protocol in the last 3 Mission Impossible,
yeah, it's nothing.
You definitely understand.
It definitely stays true to the kind of collection at this point. It's the 5th movie.
Same thing. But even though it's still the same thing, that 2 hours and 11 minutes that it's running, you don't even notice because it's.
Oh, we left out Jeremy Renner. I left out Jeremy Renner.
Yeah,
Jeremy Renner is big in this movie. I almost forgot. Was he in the 4th one?
Yeah.
Jeremy Renner to me, like, I just miss him.
Yeah.
He's generic white guy to me. It's like we already got Tom Cruise. Why do we need another white guy who's like supposed to be kind of like leading man-ish? Like, why do I need him?
Why not? I like him.
Ving Rhames is bringing the muscle. Simon Pegg's bringing the humor. What exactly did Jeremy Renner bring to the table? Another white guy. It's
Mix
just
them all
like
together.
it's just like
He's
the
also
Avengers.
providing
It's
a
just
lot
like
of-
the Avengers movies.
He's also
What's he bringing to the
He's
table?
bringing some comedy relief too. It's a good flow. It's
All I know is when
decent.
Jeremy Renner is required to be the lead, Hansel and Gretel happens.
Yeah, come on,
Yes.
man.
Yes.
That's-
What? Was he not? Was he not Hansel?
He was also in The Born.
Yeah. Look what happened there. They're gonna bring back Matt Damon.
They are. Matt,
He
Matt
came
Damon.
in there and they're like, you know what?
Don't do
We'll
that.
pay Matt Damon twice as much money as we offered him because that didn't work out.
Yeah, but he,
But yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
definitely check it out on the big screen. You'll enjoy it. You'll go by fast, and if you're expecting to watch a Mission Impossible movie, you'll enjoy it. If you're expecting like gonna be something different, it's not.
But you don't have to have seen the other Mission Impossibles.
No,
it's
no,
a standalone film. I mean, there's
some
some
action.
there's some like references to, obviously it's understood that he's an agent and he's kind of got this history, but I don't think that anything in the plot required you to know anything about the previous movies.
No.
I mean, you know, obviously if you've seen the ones you see, you're excited when Bing Rames came, so you're like, oh yeah, it's kind of like getting the old team back together, Simon Pegg. So but not knowing, if you hadn't seen the movie, the way it plays out, you would just be like, oh, it's an old friend of his, because he says that to Jeremy. He says, you know, we were old friends.
Yeah.
I don't know you, but I know him. So it's kind of like you can put all the pieces together. Like I said, the plot's not
Real
great, so
quick.
you put it all together. So even if you haven't seen any of the other ones, I mean, go watch it. I mean, maybe you can use that as an entry point to see if you want to watch the other ones. I mean, definitely the first one, in my opinion, is the best.
Yeah.
That's great, but it's not a bad series by any means. Definitely, I mean, you could do a lot worse than watch 5 Mission Impossible movies. A lot worse ways to spend your day. But yeah, do you have anything else you want to say before we spoil it?
No, man, I got nothing but love for that movie. It's good. It's good. Check it out.
Yeah, like I said, I think both of us agree to go watch it in theaters, unless you're really anti kind of action movies or really don't like Tom Cruise, because that's kind of. But I mean, that's where people really dislike Tom Cruise as a movie star. But so we go into spoilers. Movie picks up. Tom Cruise is getting his usual, you know, here's your mission if you choose to accept it spiel in a record store after he did some like flirting with his assistant or whatever. I don't know what she's supposed to be. And he goes into the record booth and he gets locked in and he gets gassed and he watches the villain of the movie, this guy with glasses who looks kind of like the dad from like Heroes.
Oh yeah, that glass.
Yeah, it's like whatever. The guy, the villain's this guy with glasses. He's nothing to write home about. He's like the most unimpressive looking villain you can get without them like actually making like a really nerdy, like if you, without it's like they went the worst villain without actually going after that. It's like they didn't go after it to him to be like a joke, but he was a joke to me. Like I had no fear of him.
No,
I'd fight him personally. It's like
the voice was really weird.
Yeah, it was weird. But anyways, he comes and he shoots the
clerk,
the clerk, you know, attractive female, and he witnesses that. He's pissed, and then now he's a prisoner because they never kill the spy. They gotta torture him first.
For information, you get the top secret documents.
Enter Rebecca Ferguson. She helps him escape because she's deep undercover MI6.
Double deep, super deep.
No, she's only deep. She's the MI6. But it's just the rest of it. We'll get to that. But so she helps him to escape. He escapes, and now, while this is happening in the U.S., Alec Baldwin's trying to get the Mission Impossible team disbanded.
IMF, man.
Because he's like, hey, they're doing nonsense. They're up to no good.
They're a rogue
Jeremy
nation.
Renner's there to represent it, and Simon Pegg's a worker, and he's playing Halo. He's hanging out, but Simon Pegg goes to Vienna to meet with Tom Cruise because Tom Cruise is trying to find out more about the guy with glasses because he's trying to get him back.
And the Syndicate.
And yeah, he's the Syndicate. Is their Spectre version, I guess, for Bond. And some chaos ensues there. They end up running into the girl again, Rebecca Ferguson, which leads them to Morocco, where they try to they try to break into, get a thumb drive that has all this personal information, bank accounts they could really allow this syndicate to kind of do a shadow kind of terrorist cells throughout the world, because this This was initially set up by the head of the MI6.
How much money was it in? It was
It's like $32 billion.
Was it $32 billion?
It was like, it was a lot of money.
It's like you guys are selling nuclear weapons. What do you guys need money for?
Yeah, I know. I mean, but don't get hung on the plot. don't get hung with the plot. The so they Simon Pegg and Tom Cruise are with the Rebecca Ferguson down there. At the same time, Jeremy Renner and Vin Rames are coming over to Morocco to try to meet up with them because they've heard that Rebecca Ferguson's actually she's bad, and so they're trying to save Tom Cruise and Simon Pegg. And they get this thumb drive, and it turns out that this really huge list of account numbers that had millions of dollars that could be used to obviously funnel lots of weapons of mass destruction. And there's a lot of chases. Most of the movie is action based, so the plot we're getting pretty much through the plot here. They go back to it ends up in London because in order to access this list of names, you need the Prime Minister's personal information.
And voice activated.
Yeah, because it turns out the head of the MI6, he had pitched this idea of creating like a group of kind of former
syndicates.
No, former CIA kind of spy type, former spies off the grid into a syndicate to then be able to kind of get jobs that need to happen done. And the Prime Minister is like, absolutely not. And the guy ended up doing it on his own, and so now
absolutely not.
They find that out, and the Prime Minister, so Tom Cruise gets the Prime Minister to give him the information, because then he's trying to get back, but at this point they've captured Simon Pegg, so they're using Simon Pegg as leverage to get Tom Cruise to do what they want. And Tom Cruise is like, whatever, I'll do what you want, I don't care. And so then he ends up getting Simon Pegg back, and they get the bad guy. It's very unclear what the rest of the syndicate is doing. Apparently, it's all based on that one guy, because the rest of them, it could be hundreds. It sounds like it was hundreds of them.
Yeah.
They get the one guy, and then the rest of them are to the wind.
With like one of the first, it's like one of the first guys to be a part of the syndicate does not make him the leader of the syndicate.
But even if he's the leader, it's like you still have all these people. Yeah. So that's why I said the plot's not being right home about the action of all the plot. What I just said, it sounded really boring. But if you watch the movie, it's actually you see how it's all car chases, airplane stunts, underwater stunts. A lot's happening. Yeah. But it's not a great plot. No. And there's not really much of there's kind of a love interest there, but it's not like they really go that far into it. So it doesn't really develop. It's kind of like more if there was a sequel that could be developed, but
there won't be no sequel.
I know what I'm just saying. Like it was kind of like that. It was kind of like open ended at the end, but. So I wouldn't say it's really the type of movie you do it even for like any bit of a love angle. I wouldn't say don't bother. But in summary, it's a pretty good movie in terms of it's a solid action movie. Nothing right home about plot wise. Is your favorite scene?
Tom Cruise running.
He doesn't have a running scene quite like when he was chasing Phillips Seymour Hoffman, R.I.P. in the fourth one.
Yeah.
He's chasing that fat guy. He couldn't catch him, but he was running twice as fast. Looked like
he was fighting this big old Russian dude at the opera.
Getting whooped.
Yeah, it's enjoyable. It's enjoyable. What you got?
I'll probably go with the scene with when he was underwater and then he drowned. I didn't understand what the initial plan was.
The initial plan was to open that
I know, but then it's like, how long was her plan to go in if he didn't get? It was like she kind of ad-libbed that.
She just
Because the hatch, I don't know how do they release a hatch when it's like full pressure?
I don't know.
That's what I was to understand. It's like he's gonna release this hatch while inside the full pressure water.
Guns, man. Mission Impossible.
No, he grabbed on and he couldn't pull.
Drowned.
Also, it kind of failed itself there because she had just shown it earlier that she could hold her breath for 2 minutes, and there's no way that whole process took less than 2 minutes for her to go all the way down there, save him, and escape.
Well, no, they didn't need. I don't think there was water through that tunnel as soon as they opened it.
I get that, but it took more than 2 minutes for her to get all the way to where he was.
No, he had time. Remember, we had time.
He spent like 5. He spent like 5 minutes where he passed out. He had impressive, astronaut
David Blaine,
man. Yeah, he was up there with his skill set. And the whole time he was pulling stuff and pushing things.
You know what? I need to train MI6 training, man.
For what?
Not, just for the hell of it, like learn how to fucking fly like a chopper.
Wow, you know how expensive that'd be?
I don't know, man. I got signed up for like CIA classes and shit, man.
I don't know if they just take 20 somethings.
You gotta be 25 to start.
Yeah, but there's probably like a there's probably stuff you're supposed to do until you're 25.
Nah, man.
Nah, I'm 27. I'm 27. I don't really have any experience in this. But I think I want to learn how to fly like helicopters on speedboats on your dime, shoot guns and rockets at people.
Yeah, but I'm not actually ever going to do like a mission just for the hell of learning it.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, man.
I don't think they're willing to
captain the ship and shit.
Captain the ship. I'm the captain.
Play poker.
I'm the captain now.
Hey man,
I like that guy, Captain Phillips. Shout out to Tom Hanks.
I'm done.
Yeah, no, I found anything else to say about it. Yeah, like I said, go see it if you like Tom Cruise or if you've seen any Mission Impossible. Solid action movie, but don't expect to see the best plot of the year for sure. But
it's called Mission Impossible.
No, the first one had a pretty interesting.
The first one is original. It is what it is.
It's about a much better plot than this one.
Yeah.
But this one has a lot more action.
Of course, that's what you do when you keep the same story.
Oh no, I agree.
Blow some more shit up.
Agreed. But yeah, I think we're good here. Please feel free to leave your comments below and subscribe to the channel.